Hey everyone, and welcome to another review roundup video. My name is Ash, and I'm here to talk about 4 games I've been playing recently across a variety of different platforms. So, without further ado, let's jump straight into the games. And the first one is Rising Dusk. Now, this released on the 14th of December 2023, developed by Studio Stoby and published by Shin Yuden, and I was lucky enough to send a copy of this on Xbox to play. Now, on Xbox, it's playable on Xbox One and Xbox Series X and S consoles, optimized for Series X and S with 4K resolution and 60 FPS. And this is a puzzle platforming game, and it has a look of like an old school SNES platformer. Imagine Donkey Kong Country meets Studio Ghibli, and that's what you're looking at here. Now, gameplay wise, it has some unique things to it. So you have your platforming sections, you have your bosses at the end of the levels you have to defeat, and there's over 20 different levels to play through across a variety of different environments, including like hot springs, rice fields, and stuff like that. Now, there's a unique mechanic where you have to avoid collectibles. Now, normally you see a coin in the game and you grab it and you're like, yes, I've got this coin. However, in the levels, there are sections where there are blocks with numbers on, and if you have that number of coins, it will basically remove the block. So if you've picked up one coin and then you get to a section where there's a strip of blocks, I'll say one, you'll fall through them basically, which is extremely frustrating. So you have to collect as little coins as possible in order to progress without dying. Now, it's a very loose story. You play this girl who is at this shrine, and she basically sees a yokai. And because she's seen this yokai, she ends up in the spectral world. And it's up to her to work her way through past all these ghosts and ghouls and demons and stuff like that to escape. Now, soundtrack is awesome. It has a really cool soundtrack, and you can't go wrong with it. The soundtrack is absolutely fantastic. I really, really enjoyed it. The gameplay at times can be extremely difficult. However, it's never like throw your controller on the floor difficult, which is nice. Now, this is priced at $7.99 on Xbox. It's also available on other platforms, including Switch and Steam. So check this one out. It is really fun to play. Nice little sort of spin on a standard sort of platforming esque style game. Plus, I really like the sort of Japanesey Ghibli esque feel to it. That is really, really cool, and I think that adds a lot to it with all the demons and stuff like that. Really makes it stand out more than it would do if it was something else, I feel. Okay, next up it's Retro Revengers. Now, this released on the 14th of the 9th, 2023, from publisher Shin Yuden on Switch, and I was lucky enough to present a copy for this review from them, so big thank you to them for that as well. Now, this is actually on sale right now, which is a great time to pick it up. It's 30% off on the eShop. It's normally £8.89, but you can grab it at £6.22. Now, this is an old school inspired retro platformer. It's designed to play and look like your old school games. Has an absolutely banging soundtrack. Now, the soundtrack is done by Manami Matsume, who was the composer for like Mega Man and Shovel Knight, and you can totally tell they're smashing it out of the park here with that. Graphically, it looks old school, like 16-bit graphics. Interestingly, though, this one has a cool multiple character mechanic where there's 5 different characters, each with their own like set of skills, either traversal, weapon, attack skills that you can use across all of the levels. Now, some of the levels are more suited to some of the characters, and the game has like a focus on speedrunning, trying to get through it as quick as possible. I believe there's also leaderboards if you want to get yourself on them for your speedrunning. I suck at speedrunning. I love retro platformers, but I'm not going to pretend that I am fantastic at them or quick. I like to take my time and figure out what I'm doing and stuff like that. But I did like that you could switch between the characters for different levels. You can also like get heals and swap them between characters. So if you've got one character with lower health, you can pass it to them to heal up, which is awesome. The story is sort of non-existent. It's just like five super friends of being like zapped into a different dimension. But there's lots of cool enemy designs. The level designs pretty awesome as well. A bit old school, but not bad at all. Game's full of like references and Easter eggs and stuff like that. And yeah, I had a lot of fun playing this. Now, it's not perfect, and I don't think there's a huge variety between all of the characters to make it super like full on replayability. There are slight differences, but you could literally play the whole game with like your favorite character if you really wanted to. Now, there is nice humor in the game as well, and like I say, the graphics and the music is spot on. Now, it's also available on PC as well, so make sure you grab this one if you're into your sort of old school platforming goodness. Okay, next up is Cartel Tycoon. Now, this released on the 14th of March 2024, developed by Moon Moose and published by Tiny Build, who were kind of sent me a copy on Xbox for this video. So, huge thank you to them for that. Now, this is an Xbox Series X and S game, so it's next gen only on Xbox. It's also next gen only on PlayStation, I believe, as well, but it is on PC. Now, at launch, this game was rather a bit of a mess. I don't want to sugarcoat it. It was buggy, it crashed a lot, stuff didn't work properly. But fair play to the developers. They have since patched it all out and issued hotfixes to resolve issues and stuff. So it does play a lot better than it did. Now, if you haven't guessed what this game is about, well, it's about basically you are in like a fictionalized 80s Latin America and you are basically becoming a drugs lord. So you're selling the cocaine, you're basically being a Pablo Escobar, and it's up to you to oversee your like criminal empire. Now, I like this game. There's multiple modes. So there's a story mode which has like a nice narrative to it and everything. There's also a hardcore permadeath survival mode. Not for me. I didn't really need the challenge that much, but if you're looking for even more of a challenge, there's that. And there's also a like customizable sandbox mode, so you can basically do what you want when you want and play how you want, which is awesome. Now, they've not done a bad job of porting this over to consoles. The UI isn't too bad. Using a pad instead of using a keyboard and mouse. The like systems work well. I do feel it doesn't explain everything enough, which is annoying. I'd like to see a bit more explanation about what happens and some of the later systems that you'll need to understand. But the core gameplay itself is very enjoyable. Now, I played through the story mode. You're looking at over 10 to 15 hours worth of story there to play through, which is awesome. The soundtrack looks great. The soundtrack sounds great. It's late, guys. I'm trying not to die while doing these videos, so I do apologize. I will crack on. But the soundtrack is awesome. It's inspired by that sort of era with like psychedelic and Latin American influences. The gameplay, like I say, while not super detailed, looks great. Like the actual graphics look good. The environments look nice and lush and stuff like that. There's vehicles everywhere when you're like going to and fro and stuff like that with your like either your deliveries or the police chases and stuff like that. Now, I thought this was really cool. There's lots of ways to upgrade and different combinations of how to progress, which is nice. So you start off like as a farming operation, and eventually you end up huge, and you end up with a massive empire. but you can all come crumbling down. People can be murdered and killed and stuff like that. You have to promote people up to keep it going. You have to like avoid the police. You have to fight off like rival cartels and stuff like that. I would like to have maybe seen more of the AI cartels interactions. They don't seem to play like anyone else would play. They just sort of beat to their own drum, which is fine, but I feel like there could be more to that to make it even more enjoyable. Or like a multiplayer mode for this would be cool because it gives you a reason to be like competitive and stuff. I know when it was originally in development, multiplayer was planned, but I don't think they ever actually implemented it into the final game, which is a shame. Now, this is really fun though. I have enjoyed this a lot. Out of all of the like the sort of sim games, the drug lord simulators and stuff like that, I think I enjoyed this one the most, which is nice. There's a lot of stuff here to be found. There's also a deluxe edition available as well. So, like the core game priced at £24.99, I think that's a very fair price. Or you can pick up the deluxe edition for £39.24. Now, that includes the core game as well as the Gorilla and La Familia Lieutenants packs, San Rafaela, and the Divas Hotel content pack. So San Rafaela is a new map, which adds a load more to it, 12 new regions and stuff like that, which is awesome. The lieutenants packs are like a selection of lieutenants that you can get into your team, basically, into your faction. And the hotel pack, I haven't been able to play this, but you basically get special skins and stuff like that for some of your buildings, new emblems and stuff. So it's quite a nice little bundle. They've done a good job with it. So I definitely recommend checking this out if you like your sort of cartelly, like mafia-esque simulation, business management style games. This one's cool, and it also has a bit more interaction, a bit more excitement around it. Obviously, dealing with the police and the raids and like the fighting with the other cartels and stuff, which you don't always get in other sim games. So definitely check this one out. Okay, last up for this review roundup is the Mildew Children. Now, this released on the 17th of the 4th, 2024, developed by the Growing Stones and published by Valkyrie Initiative, who were kind enough to send me a copy on Xbox. Now, this is an Xbox Play Anywhere title, so if you get it on Xbox, you can play it on Xbox One, Series X and S consoles, and PC. It's also available on other platforms as well, and there's also a demo available of the game on PC, so it may be worth checking out the demo first just to see if it's for you. Now, this is a interesting game. It sort of mixes visual novel dialogue and story with a sort of 2D adventure game. And it's basically a dark tale about a village inhabited by basically only children, and they follow savage pagan traditions. Now, you basically follow this young girl named Kerful, if I'm pronouncing that right, who is a witch, and along with her sisters, they have to perform these rituals in order to keep the village alive, basically, and save the village. Now, this mixes elements of fairy tale and horror, and pagan folklore and beliefs and stuff like that to combine it for a really interesting story. Now, the game itself's not particularly long. You can finish it in 5 to sort of 10 hours at a push, but it looks great. It has gorgeous hand drawn graphics. The environments look creepy. There's so many like character drawings for the when they're talking and stuff like that. So not only are there these visual novels things, there's also like mini games thrown in as well that sort of split up the gameplay. And while it kind of is like a horror, it's not a horror-esque game. It's more creepy than horror-y. I really enjoyed this one. It's like over 12 different chapters, which is nice. I think that's really cool. There's, like I say, puzzles, investigations, quick time events, visual novel, like multiple choice dialogue options as well. There's tons of different locations you'll visit as well, including like your village, burial grounds, forests, creepy things like that. And yeah, there's some like really like interesting decisions you've got to make along the way. Now, I definitely recommend this one. It's really hard to describe without playing it because you'll not feel the the draw to the story from just looking at some videos. You really need to play it to be connected to it and following along with the plot and stuff. It's really engaging, really dark and eerie at times. Can be like heartfelt as well. They've done a fantastic job with it. It's like a walking sim, but with like mini games and visual novels thrown in, but in a 2D like side scrolling esque manner. Really weird, but awesome. A really nice concept. Really well done. Now, on Xbox, it's priced at £8.39. And honestly, for that price, you cannot go wrong. It's also optimized for Series X and S consoles with 4K resolution and 60 FPS plus. And like I say, don't take my word for it. Jump on Steam and download the demo right now. But anyway, guys, that's that for this review roundup. Which game is your favourite? Are there any you want to try, or is there any you have tried? What did you think of them? Let me know in the comments down below. I'm going to go and have a lemsip and devour some lockets because I've had a cough for about 3 months now and it's driving me mad. It's made doing review videos really awkward because I can't talk for like more than a few minutes without bursting into coughing fits. So yeah, I apologise if I sound gravelly, if I sound like I'm gulping and stuff. It's me just drinking. As soon as I get through it, I'll be back to full strength. But thank you to everyone who does watch the channel, watches the videos, hits that like button and subscribes, and it means a lot to us. And I'll be back with more review videos throughout the week and the months to come. Let me know in the comments down below, is there any games you'd like to see in future review roundups? I will be doing a mix between review roundups and full like single game review videos in the future as well. So you just let me know and I'll do my best for you guys. But until next time, thanks for watching.